Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between VortiX versus Foggy. This game taking place here on Twisted Meadows. Gonna go ahead and get this replay started. Good morning everyone, thank you for tuning in. This game taken from DreamHack, WarCraft 3 Open out of Europe, as we're looking at VortiX spawning as the Red Undead. Red Undead here going up against Foggy, who has spawned as the Yellow Night Elf. Night Elf versus Undead in this 1v1 matchup. What are we going to be looking at here, as it is relatively close spawns, both players very close to each other. And I think I need to remember that this was early on when Twisted Meadows was um, added back into the map pool. So, well, it takes a little bit of time to adjust to maps like this. Hey, Styles, I am doing fairly well. Nothing too bad, I guess, overall. Working things out, a little bit groggy this morning, but hoping to get a little bit of exercise later on today, as we are going into Foggy with a Warden first. All right, Warden first in this matchup, going up against a Death Knight here on Twisted Meadows. You do have high ground, excuse me. Crota is the bestest. Thank you very much. Thank you for tuning in, everyone out there. Um, yeah, as we're looking at, well, Altar of Darkness coming into play here. Altar of Darkness, Crypt, Tomb of Relics. I'm just trying to get into my rhythm, get into the game, how it's going to be unfolding here, as both sides now scouting out into the opposite directions. We can see Wisp doesn't need a scout nearly as far as the Blight would obviously give it away. Close spawn Warden. Well, we'll see how all of this is going to come across about here, as the Warden now needs to run down here in just a moment. Ancient of War is taking quite a bit of damage, needs to absorb a little bit more, or is going to be absorbing a little bit more, as it's trying to take down this Null Overseer. The Null Overseer is actually, well, fairly beefy and strong. It is these Null Wardens that take the majority of take more damage from this Ancient of War. However, there's no easy way to get in position to actually take down those Ancients of War, as we see a level 1 Warden pick up a Ring of Protection +3. Death Knight, however, nearby. Death Knight, Death Coil finishing off that. No, did it take the... no, it actually got the kill onto the Null Warden, and now there's a Shadow Strike onto the Death Knight. And Death Knight being forced to retreat back here, down to 500 hit points and dropping relatively quickly, as an Ancient of War now running by there. Shadow Strike, another one down onto that Death Knight. More damage getting added in slowly but surely, as that Death Knight now down to 350 hit points. Is he going to try and back away? Perhaps one more Death Knight will be enough, or one more Death Strike not going to be enough, as the Acolyte gets into harm's way. All right, very well played. Solid opening right there, coming in from VortiX, stealing that experience, and then to follow it up, was able to get an Acolyte. Thank you for the donation. Wow, was not expecting any donations. Every little bit helps. Donations, thank you for the $10. Yeah, streamers. Well, it will go towards buying better lights, upgrading my computer eventually. But thank you very much. As the Death Knight now makes its way back over. All right, Warden gonna pair up with the Archer here. No, not that many units coming in from Foggy so far, as we now are looking at a tech to tier 2. Thank you for a sub as well. Already doing much better than what I think all of December in terms of on stream donations. I know there are a lot of people out there who just automatically resub to me, even though it isn't during my stream, and I do thank you very much. Every little bit does definitely help. Anyways, VortiX making its way. I am doing very well. Death Knight now making its way back down. Gonna try and, well, swarm here with all of these ghouls. Death Knight does have a large number of ghouls and skeletal minions, and now putting pressure on Foggy. Coming back around here, what is Foggy doing? Foggy using an Ancient of War. Gonna try and clear out this mercenary creep camp here. Does pick up a Forest Troll, Shadow Priest, and a Forest Force Troll Berserker. Very useful items, Potion of Mana and Slippers of Agility, and that Warden should perhaps be able to get in some pressure onto the remaining units. However, the Death Knight is now putting pressure onto the Moonwells and taking down some very, very key buildings of Foggy, as things can go sideways very quickly. All right, Death Knight, where are the units going to try and land off to? Are we going to see a Shadow Strike? No Shadow Strike as of yet. Warden coming across the map right now, moving very quickly, is going to be able to get in that necessary damage. It does not have a Fan of Knives or Blink. It only has Shadow Strike right now. Hasn't really picked up any other of those abilities. All right, unit's going to make its way back down. Ogre Warrior taking down here. All right, going to come back across here as we're going to see a little bit of damage onto a Ghoul of VortiX. No, units are now backing away as the Wisp are backing up as well. Ancient of War slowly regenerating some hit points. Warden really wants to get to level 3. Doesn't have really easy access to get to level 3 so far, even though there's an Ancient of War off here. New Moonwell needs to be placed down by Foggy. Warden still sitting at level 2. Once we see level 3 play, all of a sudden the Warden should be able to perhaps stop that Death Knight in its tracks. What is going on here? Warden now making its way across. We are looking at an army of archers, Force Troll Shadow Priest, and Force Troll Berserkers making its way, perhaps trying to take down this Ogre Warrior creep camp. But I think you need at least one, if not two Wisp if you're trying to clear that out. There's just not enough right there. Warden of Foggy looking to shut down perhaps a potential expansion attempt. Doesn't see it, as we're now well off over here. All right, Ogre Warrior absorbing a bit of damage. Archer is going to try and engage right here. Ancient of War down to 450 hit points and dropping very, very quickly, as more and more units are going to end up falling. All right, Force Troll Trapper down to 300 hit points here. Ancient of War about to get taken down. Warden needs to make its way back over as well, as we are seeing a little bit of damage being absorbed across all the remainder of the units. Warden is sitting at level 3. Are we going to see Fan of Knives or anything else right there? There goes one Robe of Magi, a very big item to get that Warden up higher on mana. Meanwhile, down over here on the bottom left, the Death Knight of VortiX not opting to push, instead to creep. Now sitting at level 2, picks up a Ring of Regeneration as VortiX's Lich is out on the battlefield. We've seen how effective a Warden can be going up against an undead player, as the undead is forced, is forced to try and deal with a level 6 Warden with Avatar of Vengeance. Using corpses against an undead player, perhaps one of the greatest weaknesses, as we've seen a graveyard turn the tides for the Night Elf. Are we going to get to that state here, as the Warden now dives on in along the backside here, is sitting at level 2 Blink. All right, level 2 Blink, level 1 Shadow Strike. Interesting call here, as we're going to see that the Warden is just putting pressure all the way across the board. Are we going to see a Blink now going after another Acolyte there? Acolyte taking a large amount of damage. It finally gets taken down as the Warden now looks to back away. All right, mana intensive there, as the Warden now looks to teleport away and now head back off to the north. Null Overseer is currently absorbing the most of that damage from that frontline location. The Warden wants to get into position, wants to sneak through. Meanwhile, down over here on the bottom right, we're looking at the Death Knight sitting, or gonna be able to get to level 3. Lich gonna stay at level 2. We are looking at a Black Citadel, so we should be getting up that Orb of Corruption. All right, Warden is now at 4. Level 2 Shadow Strike, level 2 Blink, level 1 Shadow Strike. We haven't seen level 2 yet. And that Warden does have a large amount of mana, 450, with decent regeneration. What is going to end up happening here, as Dryads are now added in onto the fight as well? All right. Warden coming here. Rock Golem gonna be taken out. Warden gonna be staying at level 5. This is a weird spot to be. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the Slippers of Agility to pick up Devotion, or the Slippers of Agility, not that great of an item. Definitely lower tier, as we are now going into a Dark Ranger as well. So far, VortiX with 3-2-1 on the heroes, going up against Foggy with only a level 4 Warden right now. And until that Warden gets to level 5, things might go sideways pretty fast. Are we getting up a second hero, or is this going to be a timing attack pressure coming in from VortiX? VortiX now coming in with a pretty interesting timing attack here. Obsidian Statues, Ghouls are all going to be in position. Level 2 Shadow Strike. Death Knight goes in with the Death Knight gonna come across, perhaps get a Death Coil off onto that Ghoul. Gonna go ahead and save it. The Archers and the Force Troll Berserkers represent a large amount of damage. Meanwhile, the Destroyer is up in the air, gonna try and take down some of these precious Moonwells. Warden does not have Fan of Knives. Another Shadow Strike does go down. Death of a Ghoul. One already taken down. Another Ghoul about to get taken down. Warden seeing that level 4. Nope, there's the save right there as Foggy is unable to finish off that 4-Show Berserker. Nope, gets the final hit off right there. All right, more repairs are underway. Death Knight continuing with all of that pressure, trying to get more damage. Another Shadow Strike, trying to finish off a Ghoul. The units are fighting back and forth. VortiX has a slight advantage here. 48 supply compared to 50 compared to 39 right now, as the Ancient of War going to perhaps root and then try and fight a little bit longer. All right, Ghoul about to get taken down. Oh, beautiful denial. VortiX having the time to deny a Ghoul amongst all of this action. 48 supply compared to 50, as the Warden does have Rejuvenation and Moonwells to fight, and well is going to be able to stay alive a lot longer. There comes in another Rejuvenation onto that Warden. Warden simply will not fall apart. Lich staying at level 2. Perhaps we should try and focus down some of the Ancient of Wars or any of those other units, as more and more Ghouls are coming in with just a crazy amount of damage. Ghouls do have, well, very fast movement speed. I don't believe they actually have Ghoul Frenzy. Oh, actually, no, no, move speed very fast. Yes, no, they do have a very fast attack speed here. That's the reason why they're able to deal so much damage, as Ancient, of course, are starting to fall. This timing, 47 supply compared to 39. Foggy is supply blocked, unable to train up any additional units right now, as we're looking at the Destroyers now trying to put in a little bit of pressure. Bears are out onto the battlefield. Staff of Preservation, not going to matter. There goes one through to the claw. Level 3 now onto the Lich. Level 3, Lich could make a big deal, as another Shadow Strike goes down onto another Ghoul. All right, are we going to see a Death Whale off onto the Dark Ranger? Dark Ranger down to, well, 500 hit points after a Death Whale saves, as the Obsidian statue is still putting in a large amount of pressure here. 47 supply compared to 31. Death Knight looking to back away. Death Knight down to 228 hit points. He had a Ring of Regeneration. He must have sold it. He must be regretting it now, as long drawn out fights, if you really want that Ring of Regeneration. So far though, Death Knight, there's that Frost Nova Scroll of Town Portal. It looks as though a little bit of damage going to come across here. Warden was trying to get some damage onto that Death Knight, as the Warden down to 54 hit points herself. Coming back home, we're going to see a little bit of rinse and repeat. Death Knight has double potions of healing, also has a potion of mana. Going to be wandering out across the field, as VortiX looks to get the final kill off here. Dark Ranger still sitting at level 1. Lich sitting at level 3. 2 Obsidian statues. Healing coming across here as well, as this is going to be that follow-up punch. Is there going to be enough damage? Foggy still unable to train up any extra units, as there are no Moonwells being trained or being built anywhere. Solo level 5 Warden, however, does benefit from a lot of bonus experience, as we're looking at the Death Knight now with a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability for a little bit of pressure. Here we are. We're going to be coming back across here. There's an Absorb Mana and a second Destroyer joining in on the fight. 49 supply. Are we going to get some Devour Magic? No Devour, or maybe a Devour Magic, as it no longer has that Rejuvenation. Warden going to try to put in pressure here. Death Knight making its way back off to the north. Warden, well, doing a little bit of a dance back and forth, and those bears have to be extremely careful. 2 Destroyers can easily shut down those bears very quickly. The Dryads are just simply too far back, as the Warden finally able to blink behind. All right, there is a silence right there. More damage coming back across, as the Staff of Preservation saves a bear also temporarily, as it is only just at the back of the battlefield now. All right, there goes a little bit more damage. Death Knight sitting at level 3, taking a lot more damage from Shadow Strike over time. The Obsidian statues really should be making their way forward to come across, as there is a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability again. All right, Warden coming back across right there. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability was a little bit too early. You want to do it right as the Shadow Strike is about to hit. VortiX, well, blocked a little bit right there, as the Death Knight now just wandering between here, as we're going to see a little bit of damage. Are we going to see the Shadow Strike? Yes, we are. Death Coil, Frost Nova, blink onto that Warden, as the Death Knight now tries to shake off some of that damage, hoping that the Obsidian statue will be enough. Dark Ranger perhaps will be able to get a silence off, and while that Death Knight is just trying to stay alive in the back, shaking off all of that remaining damage here. In comes the Warden back from the north here. Destroyers are right there. Death Knight could be in a little bit of trouble. There's that silence, and Death Coil blink dodge right there, as the Death Knight down to 66 hit points and dropping steadily, as the Obsidian statues may be able to pick it off. Death Knight now trying to retreat away. Blink from the Warden should be able to finish it off. One more attack right there. Shadow Strike. Death Knight finally gets taken down. All right, Death Knight falls at level 3. Is the Warden going to have enough gas in the tank to finish everything else off here? Now going after the Lich. Damage is starting to add back up once more, as the little bit of play right there and not being able to shut down that Warden. Warden is at level 5, going to Shadow Strike, finish off the Lich, get up to level 6. Now we could have Avatar of Vengeance, and VortiX gives the GG. VortiX able to to no, sorry, excuse me, Foggy able to hold off that all of that pressure, and I think it really came down to VortiX using that potion of invulnerability just a split second too early. A split second too early, and that's all it took. The Shadow Strike wasn't in the air, and that Death Knight took the Shadow Strike. All all Foggy needed to do was wait a little bit longer to place down another Shadow Strike, and that's what ended up happening. The Death Knight needed time to heal back up. That Death Knight was just constantly trying to run back and forth between those Obsidian statues to stay alive. But even with the Obsidian statues constantly healing, it wasn't enough. Foggy also at home field advantage. It didn't seem like very much, but the Druids of the Claw constantly rejuvenating that Warden gave it enough life. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.